everyone, I'm Jane from Shoebox Studios. I'm a ceramicist or potter based in Secret Harbour in Western Australia. Today I wanted to bring you a bit of a market wrap up because I did another 2-day market on the weekend called Made on the Left, and that's a market run in Fremantle. Usually runs about this same weekend every year. I'm coming to you from my new studio, so I know it's all very blank up here at the moment, but this will hopefully be a finished work display wall eventually. So coming. At the moment I have a nice little chair and a nice little side table, a candle that I was going to light and I forgot, and yeah, and my coffee. I needed another coffee today. Today has turned awful. It is raining a lot. I don't know if you can hear it in this studio. It's quite funny because inside we have a, like in the main house, we have a tin roof, colorbond roof. So the rain is actually quite loud in there. But out here with, like, it's still a tin roof, but it's got the insulation directly sandwiched between the tin roof and like the ceiling. So it's really dampening the sound, which is interesting. It's quieter in here than it is in the house. I mean, I don't mind the sound of rain on a tin roof. I love it, but it does get loud. So out here is the best place to do this anyway. So my first official sort of market wrap up in my new studio. I love it. I'm right near my front door, which has got lots of natural light, even with this day that is so cloudy and so rainy. We even had thunder earlier. I'm sorry, after a market with all the talking, my throat is not great for a day or two, so I'll try a mouthful of coffee, see how that goes. Yeah, but yeah, still getting beautiful natural light. Like in this room I could still possibly work without a light on. I'd probably put a light on just for something, but it's beautiful. So much nicer than my old studio, which was so dark. So I feel very privileged, very fortunate to have this space now. So yes. Okay, so yeah, Made on the Left, Fremantle. I do this, well, I've done it for the last 2 years. This is the 3rd year. I love it. It's great. It's just all handmade, or small business anyway. Yeah, and just a great quality of work. Everything there is beautiful. It's always very popular with potters, which is fine. But I think there was at least 7 potters there this time. I was actually going to do a count because I took a screenshot of everyone. But at least 7, if not more, in about 120 stalls, I think. So yeah, a lot of potters, but every single potter's work was so different, which was so awesome. Like, I went around, had a chat to everyone, so it was good, and got to know different people. A couple of new ones I hadn't seen before. Couple of them had really good weekends, some not so great weekends, but I'm going to go into that in this video too. A little bit of tips and tricks for you to hopefully help improve your market experiences. Okay, so and I will at the end of this go into a breakdown of my sales as well, so I'll leave that to the end. I'll see if I can do that whole timestamp thing, so if you don't want to hear about numbers, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I'll talk more about that later, but anyway. Okay, so yeah, day 1 of Made on the Left was pretty good. It was on and off, sun, rain. Well, no, was there rain? There was a little bit of rain, I think, not much. Little gusts of wind every now and then. Wasn't too bad. But the sun was out majority of the day, and when it was out, it was beautiful. It actually got hot, and there was people around, and it was great. Sorry, I could feel my throat going again. Yeah. And on Saturday I had a really good day. Sales day was great. Sunday Saturday, so let's backtrack a little bit. So Saturday it was a 7:45 a.m. bump in for me. So we left home about 6:45 in the morning. It's not quite an hour to get there, so we were thinking we're a bit early, and then I went into the wrong entrance to bump in and had to go around, so ended up being right on time, which was fun. Got in, it was a nice smooth bump in experience. It can be a little bit hairy in there because there's no real designated area for you to drop your gear off, so you drive in. It's a very public park, what do they call it? That's not the word, but anyway, there is a kids playground there. It's a massive big park in Fremantle. It's on the Esplanade. There's a big Ferris wheel there, so there's public there all the time. Like, there's no time that there is no public there. So they've got to be very careful with bringing markets in there, bump-ins and that, just being cautious of pedestrians. But we got in, got a bit of a parking spot and unloaded our gear. So as soon as you unload your gear, they ask you to move your car off the grounds and into a designated parking bay in Fremantle, which was fine. It was right there. It was $15 for the day for parking, but that's okay. I did get a little frustrated, annoyed, because some people just ignore all the rules and left their cars there. I think some people had special permission, which is fine, but I'm pretty sure a few of them just sneakily left their vehicles there and went to their store and ran for the day. But yeah, they didn't really implement any punishment for that. So, well, how can you blame them? I mean, if I could leave my car there, I would, but I'm a rule follower. And I like to make sure I'm going to be invited back by doing the right thing by the organisers. So I went and parked my car while my husband and the kids kept sort of setting up bits. Didn't take long though. The car park was right there, like it was 1 minute walk sort of thing back. Husband and the kids had a bit of it set up, then I came back and we got everything set up. It was a bit of a not panicked, but it seemed to be a lot of work to set it up, because it was so different to Bailing Up, which was my last market that I did, because Bailing Up I had a 6 metre frontage, so the setup was totally different to this one, which was a 3 metre frontage, but it was a corner stall, so I had 2 3 metre frontages, and I only set up on the frontage. I don't go back into my gazebo. I have always done that and I have found it brilliant. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So the reason I do that is because, I don't know, right from day dot when I started doing markets, I just decided I was setting up on the outside, because I feel like when you set up on the inside and you try to use all that space, so maybe you go in a U shape in the back of your gazebo sort of thing, like that. So side, back, side, inside, and you have people coming in. If you've got people coming in with a pram or whatever, that space is taken up. And it just feels like people are going to have trouble seeing, like getting in to see your stuff. And if it's crowded, people aren't going to come in, is my feeling. So I've always set up on the outside of what I've got, which means I limit my display space by doing that, because I could have a whole extra table in there if I went on the inside like a lot of people do. But that's fine. I work it for that. So anyway, I had 2 frontages, 2 3 metres on my corner. So there was a frontage there, and there, there, table like that. So I had a 6 foot table, 6 foot, why am I talking feet? I don't know. But anyway, it's a 2.8 metre table. Yes, 2.8 table there, 2.8 table down there. And then I also had another 2.8 down the back, but I only used the end of that 2.8 as display space. The rest of that behind there was my packaging space. I'll have to see if I can like draw a diagram and insert it into this video for you, which could be interesting. We will see if I can do that. Yeah. But anyway, so that's what I do, and then we set up. But yes, it took a little bit longer because it had been so long, it felt like, since I'd set up for a normal market. So, but we got there, and my camera battery is going flat already. Just a moment. Okay, where were we? This camera battery, I don't know. But anyway, I think it's plugged in and okay to go now. Where was I? Yeah, setup took a little bit longer. So and we eventually got it set up, but it was cutting it close. The market started at 10, and I think we're set up by about 9:30ish, maybe a little after, which to me is cutting it close. I like to be a lot more prepared than that, but that's okay. We got there. Yeah, it looked good. I'll put some pictures up here for you. Here, well, somewhere, maybe in front of me, I don't know. Yeah, so it looked good. I was happy. Day started. It was a slower start. Usually with that market you get a lot of people straight up in the mornings, because it is somewhere where people walk all their dogs and all that for their morning walks and stuff. but it was a bit slower starting this time. Like, oh, this is a bit interesting. Wasn't as many people around, but the weather was looking contrary, so I think people were holding off, just waiting to see what happened. So it started later on. The people came and it was great, and I had a really good day. I increased my sales by 50% compared to the year before, about 50%, which was fantastic. So that was great. So I went for the day, talked to lots of interesting people. I did some shopping, which I also want to share, actually. I'll share that now. So I did a little bit of shopping, and I like to return the favour. So most of the store holders will shop with each other, just to support each other. I usually only buy little things, but just things that I love and things that are sweet. So the first one is this candle. So this is from a company called Chrissy's Candles. Chrissy's Cauldron, sorry, Chrissy. I'll put her details down below. She does the best candles, and they're so unusual. Like, check this out. Oh, Nat, I hear you don't like baby faces, so you may want to look away. Julia, you'll love this. Look at the top of this candle, and they're always like this. They are absolutely stunning, and to burn them it seems quite a shame, but I keep buying more, so it doesn't matter. And the scents she does are so unusual. Like this one's called Fractured Souls. So it's lotus blossom, stardust, and cinnamon. Oh, but look at that, how gorgeous. She does ones with little rainbow little things in the top and everything. They're beautiful candles. I love Chrissy's Cauldron. I love what she does. She always buys from me too. She loves my Halloween stuff. So that was the first thing I bought. Oh, so yummy. I was actually going to start burning it today. And then I also went and seen my good friend Jack, who is Funky Dory Ceramics, and I'll put her details below, and got this little dish. So that has got a little silver luster nose, little beak, sorry, but how cute. So I love that. I always buy from her. And then next door to her was a company, sorry, I will just quickly look it up because they didn't have a card there, I don't think. Kitsune Perth, and this is microwave raku, this little slug. Is it going to focus on it? I'm not sure if it will. So cute. So yeah, microwave raku. Don't think it's going to focus, but yeah, cute little slug. So that was cool. And then a new pot I discovered called, again I'll put the details for Kitsune, K-I-T-S-U-N-E, Kitsune I think. And then I found a new potter and found this little hand painted octopus, shot glass, toothpick holder, whatever you want to use it for. It's so light, so thin. It's a hand-built piece, I believe. Yeah, I think it'd have to be hand-built. But just, I loved her little hand illustrations. And it was an octopus, had to have it. Her name was Tanya, and she was Forest Road Studios, yes. I'm going to put her proper details down below. But yeah, and then the last thing, there is a shortbread company here that, every time I see them. Cooper's, Baker's Dozen, shortbread. I got all sorts of flavours, lemon, passion fruit, my favourite, milk chocolate chip, rainbow. They are the best cookies, and they're just in these little packets, and they're so yummy. So I got my Baker's Dozen of them. So yeah, that was my little haul. And of course we spent plenty of food because we had kids there with us, so you get that, but that's okay. Yeah, so that was day one. Did some shopping. Pack up was fine. Packed it all up. Didn't have a lot left. Didn't have a lot left. I was a bit worried. I didn't really have a lot of stock for the Sunday, but decided the Sunday we would just reduce our frontage, so that was fine. So I packed it all up. Got home about 6:30ish, I think. Finished at 5. 6:30, something like that. It was late, and we were tired, and we went and got KFC for dinner. Yeah, so that was Saturday. Went to bed too late as usual and really struggled to get out of bed Sunday morning. When the alarm went off, I'm like, no, I don't want to. And I was sort of actually secretly praying that they might just call it off because the weather was going to be bad or something. But they didn't, which is fine. I mean, it was just me having a grumble and a whinge. So we set off and we arrived there again right on time pretty much. Unpacked everything really quickly and was set up was so quick, like, because it was 7:45 bump in again and we were set up by, I think, 8:15. I think it took us about half an hour, maybe 8:30, and it didn't start till 10. So we had heaps of time to go for a wander, just relax for a little bit, which was nice because I needed that because I was still so tired from the day before. I haven't mentioned, my husband comes with me to pretty much all my markets now. He didn't used to, but since I've got busier in the last sort of 2.5 years, he has come to them all with me, which I appreciate so much. I couldn't do the day without him. So that's fantastic. So yeah, Sunday, all set up, ready to go. Weather was looking so dodgy. We're like, and yep, poured rain. As it started, poured. And we started getting wind gusts, which were my worst nightmare. I think they're any market goers, outdoor market vendors' worst nightmare is wind. You're always so worried about your gazebo taking off. I mean, we have proper weights. We do have plenty of sandbags, plenty of weight, but I still panic. Things can still happen. And didn't help that our pottery group, our little group of Aussie potters that chat, had sent me an image, a link to a video of someone over in the States whose ceramics market had been absolutely destroyed. They sent me that morning. Like absolutely destroyed. It was devastating seeing that. And that's the picture I had in my head the whole day, thinking of that. Like, so hanging on to the tent pretty much all day. My husband did a lot of that. I did a bit too. My arm is feeling it today. I'm glad I'm doing an admin day, so I don't have to use my arm too much. But I think we would have been fine, but it was still scary. So that weather really slowed things down Sunday. It was funny, there's still people, there's still quite a few people for what the weather was. Like, I wouldn't have gone out in it, but a lot of people still came out. I think because they just always planned to come this Sunday, and because it's only a yearly event, they just came anyway. Yeah, so rain on and off, wind on and off, and really strong wind. There was stalls packing up early all over the place. One stall didn't even make it to opening. Another ceramicist, so I gave her a shout out on my channel. Her business is Cracking Ceramics. Again, I'll put the other link down below. I think this was her first mate on the left, and I felt so bad for her that she was having such a bad experience. She didn't have a great sales day on Saturday, I don't think. I'm not sure. I think she enjoyed it still, but yeah. And then Sunday she got there and she didn't have sides for a gazebo, and the wind was picking up, and she started to set up and she just decided it wasn't safe. And so she left before it even started, which I think was probably the right call for her. Without sides to a tent, she probably would have really copped it. But yeah, gave her a shout out on my channel, I have on my channel now too, but on my socials, and so that was good. So hopefully she got something from that. Sold a few pieces after the fact, maybe, would be good. Because she had beautiful pieces, most of them were big pieces, and they looked lovely, so hopefully she got something from that. Also, there was a lot of others that just started packing up early. Another pottery friend of mine, Calamity Clay, they left early because they were at one of the ends, and they were just copping it, like up the opposite end to us pretty much. They were just copping the wind so bad, and she said, it's just too dangerous, I can't be here. And the organisers were very lenient with it. They usually wouldn't let you go early like that, but they could see that some people it was just too dangerous for. Where we were, we got a little bit of shelter, so it wasn't as bad. It was still bad, but not as bad. And I had help, like I had Paul there to help me, so we kept going. But then by about, I think it was 1 or just after 1, lots of people started packing up, and I'm like, oh okay, this is weird. Like, so many people started packing up, And so we're still going, it's still raining, it's still windy. And eventually the organiser got round to us and he said, I'm so sorry. He said, I was heading your way to tell you that we are closing early. And he said, I got called back the other direction and I've skipped a whole section and haven't let you know. So all of the people, me and the stalls around us, had no idea we were supposed to be packing up. So that explained why everyone was packing up. He said, I'm sorry I didn't make it back, but yeah, we are going to shut it down early. And he seemed genuinely disappointed for us more than anything, and we're like, it's okay, we understand, like that makes sense. Matt's great, he's just an awesome guy, and he was just thinking safety, and it was great. And it's a hard call to make, to call off a market part way through, especially in a very public place, because getting cars in and out when there's still so much public there is a risk. But the risk of that was less than the risk of gazebos blowing away and taking people out. So totally understand why he did that. So Sunday we finished at 2, and we were home by 3:30, I think, because there wasn't much left, which was great. We still did a few sales. It was less than last year's Sunday sales, but I'd already made it up Saturday, so it was fine. So that was basically the market. It was interesting. It was a mixed bag, but it was good in the end. And it just keeps getting better every year for me, which is fantastic. So, numbers. Let's get into that. And then I want to give you a little few hints and tips that help me, I think, get to those numbers. You know what? I've got a whole list of notes here, and I haven't looked at them. I think there's not much there. Oh, we forgot chairs on Saturday, so that was interesting. That was fun, but we don't use chairs much anyway, but more about that soon. I had a return on the Sunday. So they bought something, a mug on the Saturday, and she came back on the Sunday and wanted her money back. And it took me aback. And I'm like, okay. She said, it's not glazed in the bottom. I'm like, everything's glazed. And she showed me, and it was that wisteria glaze from Speedball. So it comes out very matte. And she reckoned there was no glaze on there and it wasn't sealed. And I'm like, it is sealed, like it's a matte glaze, it's definitely sealed, but fine, it's okay. I said, you can choose something else. You're like, oh no, I just want my money back. And she was adamant. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was a bit shocked because I've never had anything like that. And so I just gave her money back and couldn't find the sale because she had no receipt, anything like that, because most people say no to a receipt, so that's understandable. I ask everyone if they'd like a receipt, but they mostly say no. So it was a bit hard because I'm like, you know, there could be some rare occasion where she's just picked up this mug from someone else, and because I couldn't remember her face, but there was a lot of faces on Saturday. But there's always the risk that maybe she just picked up that mug, pinched off someone, and then she's come back to get her money back, get money for it or something. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think it was genuine. But anyway, I just gave her cash back because I couldn't find a transaction because I had no details for her. And she didn't pay, but she said she paid by cash, so I just gave her her money back, which was fine. Yeah, these things happen. Let's keep them happy. It's all good. Smiled, kept going. So yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. I think that's it until after we do numbers. Yeah. Okay. So numbers. So I should have had my little square report open for you, shouldn't I? Let's do this. Okay. So for Saturday, so the big day, I did 107 sales, which was great. Didn't feel as busy as last year, but I only did 70 odd sales 73 sales on the Saturday last year, so it was busier. So that was interesting. Maybe I'm just getting used to it, or after bailing up, nothing seems as busy. In saying that, bailing up is my big market every year, big festival. None of my other markets come close to those numbers. So that 10,000 plus I did at bailing up, I will not do that again through the year. It'll only happen at bailing up. So just to keep that in mind. So that's exceptional. That market is exceptional. This one was really good. Okay, 107 sales. Of course, the main sellers were mugs. Always is for me, mugs. I did 41 mugs. There's probably more than that because I forgot to set up my square properly before we left, so things were a bit all over the place. My Halloween products did really well. I sold lots of that. I got rid of some platters. Oh my goodness, these platters have been following me around to so many markets, and I really was over them. So to get rid of some was great, except I didn't get rid of the biggest one, which is the pain in the butt to pack, because that's the reason I want to get a bit rid of them. They're so painful to pack. But they do sell every now and then. So it's like, do you keep doing them? Do you not? Yeah, but anyway. So a lot of them sold, which was great. So got them down. My mushies, as always, they sell out every single market. They pretty much sold out on the Saturday. I only had 4 left for Sunday. Yeah, so they were my top categories. I did quite a few cash sales this time. And I think I forgot to enter a few into Square too. So, because when we're busy, I just sort of worked out the change, gave it back. But there was $656.50 worth of cash sales. But I think there's probably maybe even $100 more worth of cash sales there. I even had an afterpay of $69.30. It's something I chose to have available, but not many people use it because I don't advertise it that I've got it. But some people will just try it in hope that it will work. So yeah, I usually only get 1 or 2 afterpay sales, maybe a market. The cards obviously is where most of the sales happen. So in total, I did $3,201.80 on Saturday. So last year I did, yeah, well that was about 50% more than last year because I went back and looked. I can't remember the exact numbers for last year. So yeah, that was great. $3,000 for the day, or 3,200 for the day. Fantastic. My booth fee for the 2 days was $400 in total, so $200 a day. So if we're going by the 10 times your booth fee, hadn't quite got there yet. Oh well, I had for that day. Saturday was 200, so, and I made 3,200. So I had done it that day. But to cover the whole weekend, 10 times the fee, I had to do 4,000 plus. So Sunday I went in with the goal of doing another $1,000 if possible. I didn't quite get to the $1,000, which was fine. With that weather, I'm surprised I got where I got, because on the Sunday, I really don't have a lot of stock left either. I think if I had more stock, I could have done better. People were coming back looking for mushrooms. A lot of people for mushies. I could have had them the same amount again and sold them again. Still more mugs, more Halloween. Yeah, Christmas stuff. It was supposed to be a Christmas market. They call it a Christmas market. October's just too early for me for Christmas. So all I had for Christmas stock was what was left over from last year, which was like 2 Christmas trees and a whole heap of just Christmas ornaments. One of the trees sold. A lot of the ornaments actually sold, which was good. So yeah, but Halloween definitely won out. So on the Sunday, I did, again, another $184 worth of cash sales. But there was more than that because I know I had some kids with pocket money just buying little things, which was so sweet. And I gave a lot of the kids discounts just so they'd have enough for their money. But yeah, total for Sunday was $901.75. So that still got me, in the end, if you put them together, got me to my $4,000 for the weekend. So in total, $4,103.55. Fees for Square payments, $60.65. I don't know, is that a lot? It seems like a lot to me, like that's 2 mugs nearly. So I don't know if I should look into some other options apart from Square, or I don't know, Square's easy, but anyway. Yeah, so good weekend. That's a successful weekend for me, very successful weekend. I mean, really anything, my average market now is around 1,200, just a basic market. So yeah, anything above that is great. So I was very happy with my numbers. In saying that, your numbers are going to be different. Everyone's numbers are going to be different. You need the right customers, you need the right markets, you need the right marketing by the markets, like so by the organisers. Need to advertise your markets for you and get you out there as well. You need to advertise your markets, which I've got to admit I'm not very good at. But yeah, you need the right crowd. I have a friend at the moment who's struggling a little bit with her markets, and she likes to know my numbers, but it's very hard because I'm worried. I don't want you comparing your numbers thinking, why can't I make that much? Because I'm in a different environment. We have a different dynamic. Over here in Western Australia too, there's a lot more disposable income. Not for us, but over here is the fly in, fly out crew. There's lots of people, families do fly in, fly out, which is usually good money. They usually have a lot more disposable income. So anywhere around Perth, Fremantle especially, because it is a real disposable income area, I think. It's an expensive area, and the people that live there have to be able to afford it pretty easily. So I've got that crowd. I've got, sorry, I can just hear different noises now. I think it's just the rain getting heavier. Unless there's some hail. Don't know. Yeah, anyway, sorry. So yeah, I've got a different crowd over here. It's, yeah, people with disposable income, so they spend more. So just keep that in mind. You might have a different dynamic where you are, okay? So I feel very fortunate to be where I am and to be able to make this sort of money from what I love. But yeah, just keep on going, keep doing it, just keep trying. In saying that, here's some hints and tips for you. My biggest hint, stand up. Like, stay standing as much as you can. You sit down in the back of your booth, even if you are talking to people, you are talking up to them. And it doesn't feel like you're putting that effort in to chat to people. Every single person that comes to my booth, I stand up for. I'm usually just standing the whole day. I hardly ever sit down. I might sit down to have some lunch at some stage, but if I'm sitting down, my husband is standing up. There's always one of us standing up. So, yeah, stand up. I mean, on Saturday we forgot chairs, so we had no choice but to stand up all day, and we were exhausted by the end of the day, but that's all right. It's so worth it. I've done that right from day dot, stood up and acknowledged every single person and chatted with them. So, yeah, stand up, smile. My jaw hurts. By the end of the day, I've tried to keep a permanent smile on my face all day. My jaw is actually hurting by the end of the day from smiling so much. Smile at everyone, even the people that are grumpy. One of my favorite games is when people are walking past and they happen to look your way and they look like they're going to be grumpy. I acknowledge them and be as friendly as possible, just as friendly as possible. And they usually smile, pretty much always smile, and usually come over and say hi. So I'm not saying come over buy my stuff. I'm just, as they're walking past, if they happen to look my way, I say, hi, how you going? How's your day? And sometimes they'll keep walking. They all say hi back. I don't think I've had people ignore me. I have had people not hear me, which is fine. But most of them will then come over and have a look. They just want to be acknowledged. I don't then hang around. That's pretty much all I do. Sort of say, hi, how you doing? Hope you've had a great day. And then I sort of leave them to browse. And if I see that they look like they might have questions, then I'll go and talk to them. But I don't sit there and look at them waiting for them to buy something. I acknowledge them, let them do their thing, have a browse, and if they buy something, great. If they don't, I say thank you for looking, and yeah, people love that. So yeah, acknowledge everyone, whether they buy or whether they don't. What else? Another little thing I get to sort of gather people's attention is with little kids. If they've got kids with them, I give them stickers. So actually I've got some down here, I think. So they are just little stickers I've bought from Temu, little packs. They're like $2 or something, 50. Any little stickers like this. So sometimes I've got ghosts, sometimes I've got mushrooms, sometimes Christmas stuff, dragons, whatever. But the children that are around, if they happen to sort of look our way, would you like a sticker? Even if their parents aren't looking at the store. Would you like a sticker? Do you like stickers? Are you a fan of stickers? And I always say, are you a fan of stickers? Or something like that. And yeah, and just give them some stickers, and they love that. And quite often the parents will then actually look at your stall And I don't think they feel that they're obliged to. It's just that you've made that effort to acknowledge their children even. So yeah, I find that's great. These little stickers cost me next to nothing. So yeah. The other thing I do for the customers that actually buy for me, every bag has a little heart hanging on it. So when they make their purchase, I package it all up in a little craft paper bag with handles, and then on the handle I tie a little ceramic heart. They love that. I hand it to them, make sure the heart's facing them, hand the bag. It's got my stamp on the front too with my brand, hand them the bag, and they look at it and they look at that and like, oh my goodness, how sweet. This is so lovely, thank you. It's the tiniest little thing for me to do. Whenever I'm doing slab pottery, I just cut out a whole heap of hearts. And often my kids will glaze them for me. So that's something I always do. I actually ran out of the hearts and I felt so bad on day 2 when I'd run out of hearts. So I have to get making hearts. But yeah, that's something too, just something special for them, and it keeps them coming back. They remember you then. What else? Yeah, no, that's my biggest tips. And as I said, I set up on the outside of my gazebo, on the outer perimeter. So that for me has always worked. So as I said, I'll try and put pictures of that. Hopefully I did earlier in this video, so you can sort of see what I mean, because that works for me. I mean, it might not work for everyone, but that's what works for me. So yeah, that's my wrap up. That was probably a bit long. I don't actually know what we're at. Oh, it won't be too bad. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some tips and tricks from it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them down in the comments. I haven't got back to comments on the last 2 videos yet, so I do apologise. They were right before the market, but I haven't really got to go through them all and reply. I will hopefully do that today, so maybe even by the time this video goes up, they'll be replied to anyway. But yes, please ask questions. If you've got any questions, ask away. Happy to help. Yeah. So I think that's it from me for today. I do have to pick up my son again from his, what they call Nautilus. It's a specialist advanced student program he does. He's got the brains in the family. My husband and him have the brains. I missed out. I don't have brains. I'm creative. I have brains. Of course I have brains, but I'm not smart. I don't know a lot of things. My husband knows everything, so that's fine. And my youngest son is going to be much the same as my husband. He's very clever. But anyway, so I've got to go and pick him up again soon in this pouring rain. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I just wrap it on, don't I? So thank you. Thanks so much for being here. If you like this, please like. If you're not subscribed already, I'd love you to subscribe. That would be great. There's a new feature called Hype somewhere down here. I don't know how that works, because I wanted to do it for other potters that I watch, but it's not showing up down the bottom for me, this Hype button. But people have used it for me. They've hit this Hype button, so I'm not sure why it's not showing up on mine when I watch videos. But yeah, if you do see that on mine, if you'd like to hype it, that would be fantastic. I think it just helps smaller channels get out into the YouTube algorithm a bit better, which is, we all need that. Yeah, I'm going to put some details for a lot of the ceramicists, potters that were at Made on the Left this year. I'm going to put them down in the details, everything I can find anyway, into the details of this video, so you can go and find some other potters. I don't know that any of them have YouTube channels. Maybe they do and I haven't found them yet. We'll see, I guess, when I do some research, but they'll all have some sort of socials, so it might be worth checking them out, supporting some more potters in other ways. Okay, so yep, that's it for me now. So thanks so much for being here. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I hope you can find a way to get some creativity into your day, and I hope it is beautiful wherever you are, because not so beautiful here today. Cozy weather, but not so sunshiny day for a spring. It's spring in Australia. But anyway, thanks very much everyone. Love you all. Mwah. Bye.